Hey there, it's Amy, and in today's video, we are going to be looking at March and my Hobonichi cousin. My eye has been twitching for weeks. I'm wearing a real bra for the first time in I don't know how long. I'm questioning every single decision I've ever made in my life because of this underwire. I feel like I can't breathe, and it's either because I'm sick or I worked out so hard yesterday that my lungs broke. Could be either one, I'm not sure. So that is the energy I'm bringing to the video today. How are you though? You good? Coffee's a little cold already. I'm gonna have to warm it up, no doubt, in 15 minutes when I remember that it exists. So let's get into it. In case you missed it, I posted a video that's called "This Video Ends When I'm Caught Up in My Hobonichi Cousin." That is because in mid-April, I had only done 2 pages in March, and I knew it was gonna take like an act of God or dedicating a lot of time, either one, to really backjournaling in my Hobonichi cousin. So I filmed that video. It was super fun. Go back and watch that. But now you're gonna get a closer look at those pages that I completed during that challenge. It ended up being like, you know, active time a little over 24 hours, which is crazy, but fun. So go back and watch that. All right. All right, as always, period trackers, first thing that you see. I was traveling in March, and I guess I just got confused on what day it was, so that's all the information you need about that, unless you want more. I'm happy to tell you a story about what happened to me in the hotel room when I had started massacre. I'm so sorry. Next is the workout tracker. I was out of town a couple of times for the month of March. So I had a couple weeks where I had to do 4 days at the gym instead of just my typical 3 to reach my 12 class a month mark. And it was hard overall. I would not like to do that again. I don't know if I was just like extra tired from travel or I had some kind of emotional family stuff happening throughout the month. So it was really hard to reach that goal. I'm proud that I did it. The challenge that my gym did that month was an active bar hang where you go over to this thing called the TRX machine. Is it called a machine? It doesn't do anything. Why is it called a machine? Can you hear my water bottle squealing? And you hang there. You hang there like little monkeys, and some people weight themselves down with some people weigh themselves down with a bell or a plate or like a vest, and it's taken everything I have to even be there. So I wasn't loving that one. My hands are like extra calloused from that challenge, and the most I hung consecutively was 40 seconds, which of course I'm very proud of. We would finish, we'd all kind of look around, and towards the end of the month, we were like, I'm not seeing as much results from that one as maybe the gym would hope. That's it for that one. March was this. I did a decent job of keeping up with this throughout the month, but it was definitely like filling in multiple days at once. Like I wasn't coming in here every day. And even in April, I'm a few days behind. So I need to be better about that. For some reason this year, it's easy for me to forget versus last year. I wasn't forgetting as much. I don't know if that's like mentally I'm in a different space. I mean, I am, but yeah, I don't know. So that's it. I wish this were cuter, but it's Lane's birthday and that's all that matters. Nothing really to report here. I'm so tired of the people who rent the gallery space at my studio. That's real. They come in, they throw these parties, they act like I am crashing their party, and I'm like, I live here. This is not your house. I can't get into it. I'll actually get so mad. I discovered that I really love 9:15 a.m. classes at the gym with this coach named Jalen. He is so cute, and it's like it's a really small class, and for the most part, every time I've gone, it's just been women. And he's like, ladies, this is my favorite class. Y'all are the best. Like, you got this. You're so strong. Like, I mean, the way that I'm saying it sounds condescending, and it's not. He's so sweet. He's so cute. He's always like, if you have a song request, let me know. I am obsessed with him. So yeah, and then just emotional stuff. Today is giving. If I don't get a little treat, I will perish. That's not emotional, but I want to stay home forever with no sick parents is pretty emotional. All right, into the weeklies. So we've talked about this a million times already, but I've really gone through it with the weeklies between like heavy words, whatever this is. And then more like illustrative, whatever. Baby, I'm still going through it. I don't know what I want these to be, and I think that's okay. I don't hate that every week I'm like, what are we doing? Because they're all different. So this was fun, like an all words situation. All words, no drawings. I like that there is a lot of black, but I'm still sneaking so much color in there. Like, I'm not doing that on purpose. I'm just like, more here, more color, more color. Like, I think I started out trying to make this like really black heavy, and then look what happened at the end. Just an explosion, but that's okay. This week I had gone in and like taped down some things on the day that it was actually happening. Whereas like this one is a free-for-all, like doesn't really match a certain day, just kind of like this happened this week. This is very much this happened this day. And this is very much this happened this day-ish. I got a new jelly cat. His name is Richard. He's our first jelly cat ever. And we're obsessed with him. And actually, can I go get him? He wants to be in the video. This is Richard. He's our child. And we're obsessed with Richard. He brings me so much joy. I mean, look at him. So we actually got Richard on Sunday, and by middle of the week, Elaine had ordered me this guy whose biblical name is Amusable Storm Cloud, which that wasn't working for me. So his name's Tony. And we often have them sitting on the couch like this. So anyway, that's them. Actually, I bet Richard is blocking a lot of my light, so we got to get him out of the way. And anyway, so I stuck in Tony's tag, drew Richard. I got a new Owala tumbler. I got the one that looks like the solo cup, like from the 90s. I panic shopped for a conference that I was teaching at, and not that it matters. Sizes are nothing, especially at places like Old Navy, but I went down a size, so that was cool. And shipped some mugs and then drove to my conference. So chaos heavy for sure. That's okay. I was at a conference for the first half of the week, and then my friends came back with me. They live in Arizona, but they drove back with me from the conference, and we hung out for the rest of the week, and it was really nice. And then on Sunday, we ordered some necessary Taco Bell because I was spent. Tried something new the next week, and I'm into it. Like words, colors. Sorry, I got distracted by a car trying to park next door. Fully thought they were just gonna drive into my house. I don't know why. This was fun. Just like, here's everything that happened this week. What's this called? A circle graph or a circle diagram or something? Like, I'm into it. I'd like to do this again. Oh, you can't see that yet. The next one's chaotic. I'll give you a peek, okay? Why I do this? This is absolute chaos. Do you know how long it took me? It took me an episode of SNL and like half of a booktube video. For what? It's just shapes. Anyway, we won't get into it. All right, off to the dailies. All right. Surprise, surprise. Still not doing anything on this page, and I think that's fine. I'm just gonna let it go. If anything, I might just write March real big. Last year I had tabs, and it did like help me reach stuff faster. But honestly, like, I'm not really missing them in this. So I know we're like 4 months into the year, and I should have made this decision already. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna put them in or not. So I don't know why I told you that or why that justifies me not doing anything on this page, but like we talk about every video, I have a subscription service for Paint Your Own Pottery Studios where the first of the month I send out a lesson plan or project plan for a project that they can teach in their studio as a workshop, which, by the way, if y'all go to like ilovepaintingpottery.com or ilovedpaintpottery.com or I'll put it somewhere. I'll put it in the description. If you go there and type in your zip code, you can find pottery studios near you, and you can go, and it's really fun, like date night. My bisque is on the shelves. It's a piece of ceramics that's been fired once and ready to be glazed. So when you go to those places, when you go to Paint Your Own Pottery shops, it's actually like glazing it. Anyway, so you could go in and like potentially find a studio that offers this as a class or has it just on hand for you to make yourself. And I actually have it. Do you want to see it? It's cute. This video is just turned into show and tell at this point. But anyway, isn't that cute? I guess I'll put it here. It's currently filled with rubber bands for my hair. So I like to take a picture, stick it in here so that I can remember what it is. But my friends had been in town. They just left. I had some time to like decompress in front of the TV, which is my favorite thing. Elaine was out at a party, so I watched Quiet on Set because she doesn't really like things like that. So I watched that and cut up my yellow paper house papers to make little mushrooms. I think they're so cute and fun. Moving on, remember last month when the mourning dove was like circling around TikTok and it was like, it's been proven that hearing bird song can increase your mood because they only sing when they feel safe or something. So like everybody was like learning about the ambiance videos on YouTube, especially the mourning dove one. I could not get into that one. It was like every time that mourning dove would holler, I was like, I was not relaxed. So instead, I normally would do like a coffee shop jazz, but we stumbled upon Celtic fantasy, which is just giving like Lord of the Rings vibes, which I'm obsessed with. And so we put that on. It was really nice. I was initially just going to do this in Tombow, and it got away from me so hard. And I had like a slight meltdown about it and then just like cut some more yellow paper house paper to like try to fix my mistakes. So it's a bridge, it's a tree. I don't want to talk about it. It's fine. But in here, Elaine was doing homework when I was working on this and when we were listening to the Celtic fantasy. And she said, this is like the Elf Kingdom in Lord of the Rings. What's it called? And I said, which one? I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, by the way. This is Eowyn, at the end when he's like, no living man can kill me. And she's like, bitch, I ain't a man. Anyway, and I say, which one? And she says, where the elves live. And I said, which one? The one we see in the first movie. Which one? We see more than one in the first movie is the conversation back. And she's like, finally, she's like, I'm doing the best I can here. We've reached the extent of my knowledge. So she was trying so hard. So I thought it was like really funny and sweet and it made me laugh. This is an Instagram story I posted that I just straight up saved and printed out. So now we are into everything that took place in that video that I posted last week. This video ends when I get caught up. Here we are. Before the challenge started, before the backjournaling started, I gave myself prompts, so a little bit of a challenge, and I will type this up and like put it somewhere nicer so that you can actually see it. Okay, well, these are all meeting notes that I don't really want you to see, I guess. So I'll type this up and make it a little bit better and either like put it on my Instagram or put it somewhere. I'll put it somewhere. Just look in the description box. My challenge prompts were as follows. 1 page, all words. 1 page, no word. A monochromatic page. I reached out to a couple friends, Natasha in your phone and Claire from online, and they gave me a couple prompts, which I'll talk about in a second. Doing book covers and a book review. Making a pocket, paper collage art, a photo and drawing mix, a song illustration, 1 page, all food. So those were all the ones that I gave me. And actually the food one was Elaine's contribution. So I technically reached out to 3 of my favorites. Natasha gave me a list of really good ideas. And the ones that I pulled were only utensils you rarely use or a new medium. And ended up doing the new medium bit. And then Claire, who has launched her own separate, do I call it like a program, like page? I don't know what to call it, community, Claire has launched her own community on Instagram and she releases prompts over there, but also in her Substack. So she just was like, hey, go through the Substack and pull a prompt that you want to do. I had written here journal in the video. If you look in the video that I posted, I think I had chosen something else. It was like song lyric based. We'll get into it in a minute. But anyway, these are the challenge prompts. As we go through the pages, I will show you which one correlates with the challenge prompt. Okay, I may full on take my bra off. We're only what, 20 minutes in at this point? I'll give it a second. All right, this is from the Bowen's Straight sketch with Sydney Sweeney on Saturday Night Live. And it was so funny. I'm a huge fan of Bowen Yang. I've been listening to his podcast for years. And if you listen to the podcast, you know that he's a boob gay. When we got to see him say to Sydney Sweeney that he likes heavy naturals, incredible. I loved it. So I took a still from that video and drew them. And I mean, you know, I'm not doing Sydney any justice here, and really, honestly, Bowen, but I thought it was so fun. I don't know. We've been through this before. I love doing stupid stuff like this. So I was excited to do that. So next up, we have one thing to cross off the list, which is one page, all words. It says, Elaine did her favorite thing, talked to me from the living room while I'm in the bathroom, so I got flustered and responded in a typo. Like, the toilet had flushed, I was washing my hands. I can hear her talking. She does it all the time. And I mean, I do it too a little bit, but she does it way more than me. And I'm getting ready to be like, okay, I can't hear you. Like, the water's on. And as I'm turning off the water to tell her, I cannot hear you, I looked down at my phone. I got in a DM from my friend Amelia from Bookworm Reads. So I register the word read, and I say to her from the bathroom, girl, I can't read. And Elaine, there, like, a beat goes by and she's like, what? So I just wanted to commemorate that because we have been giggling about it for a long time. I was trying to say, girl, I can't hear you. Next was a book club day. I filmed a week in the life this week. So if you're interested in any of the things that happen over the next 6 pages, go back and watch that vlog. I thought it was fun. So I had book club at Joy's house. We read Tom Lake by Ann Patchett, and I just jotted a little bit about the book here. Spoiler alert, I love Ann Patchett. Wasn't a tremendous fan of this book, and I full out think it's because I listened to it on audio and Meryl Streep was distracting. Ooh, I know. I loved Tom Hanks reading The Dutch House, but I think because this is a story about an actress who is telling her daughters about her past being an actor, it was just really hard to separate Meryl from the story. You know what I mean? So I think I was a little bit of an outlier there, but I think I would have enjoyed this more in print. So I actually really struggled to rate it because I liked the story for the most part, classic Patchett, but I didn't like the narration. This is essentially a screenshot of my Instagram DMs. I got a DM from a follower named Abby, and she's just like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm a math teacher, and I wrote a math problem based on you and your love of candy salad, which, side note, Colin, if you are watching, I'm about to talk about candy salad again. I didn't realize this until you pointed out to your girlfriend Olivia that I talk about candy salad every video I make. And I think that's going to have to just be okay. This, your second point of view right here, how you're looking at me, is actually propped up against my jar of candy salad that I keep like on the coffee table. So it's near me at pretty much all times. It's taking everything I have right now not to stop this video and get a handful. Big candy salad fan. I know you know what it is, but if on the off chance you don't, open TikTok, type in candy salad, watch these people just pour different types of gummy salad or gummy candy for the most part. Gummy candy into one jar and call it a salad. I'm obsessed with it. But anyway, she wrote a straight up like college algebra question that has to do with me, candy salad, and determining how many pounds of each candy I bought. And I can't do this level of math. Are you kidding me? I'm an artist. I don't need that. Look at me getting defensive. But it was incredible, and it's actually being published like in a textbook. Crazy. So I put it in here to always have it nearby. And actually I posted it on my Instagram stories, and a shocking amount of people were able to solve it. So good on y'all, you're geniuses. It's a pleasure to be in such proximity with geniuses. This is Elaine's birthday. I got a little carried away while watching Real Housewives of Potomac. I think it's kind of cute. I made some stamps, and I did the like postmark from Athens because that's where we were for her birthday, and please deliver to Elaine, with a couple kind of insidey jokes there. I had initially, not to just tell you all the things that I did wrong, but I had initially like drawn the 2 stamps on, and I don't remember what I was going to do with the pictures, but then I got the like layering part wrong when I was outlining. So then I just had to make like a separate one out of paper that I could cover up the mistake with. I made a lot of mistakes this backjournaling session, mostly because I was watching television, which I do every time, but I'm usually not hunkered down for like, 15 hours journaling, watching TV, whatever. So this one knocks another prompt off the list, which was one page, all food. This was our second day in Athens, and pretty much all we did was eat and drink. We got a coffee, we got Mexican food. This is not actually food related, but I went to an art supply store and got a couple things. Coffee, we were at a bar that sold ramen noodles, which honestly more places should do that. We got dinner and then ice cream on the way back home. That was fun. I like doing more stuff like this. It's like relying less on words. Which seems to be what I'm doing right now in this video. It's just not having any words. Pretend you didn't see that. And then I knocked another one off the list, which is a photo and a drawing mix. So I did this last month for my whatever, you've watched the video. If you want to see the example, go watch the dang video, she says as she flips to the page so that you can see it. So I did this last month, so it inspired this month, and I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was really cute, really fun. So instead of doing my view from the TV, if I were watching this video, I did my view from the phone. And underneath is Haley Fam. Shout out Haley, let's be friends. You are much younger than me though, so that might be weird. I really got in the weeds down here, so I think like this is really sloppy. It's fun. I don't need to tell you things like that because if you didn't notice it, now you do. So anyway, marked one off the list. So these next couple of pages I had a lot of fun with. This ended up being like not the best day I've ever had, and so I just needed to get some journaling out. Elaine knew that I was not having a great day, so we ordered my favorite takeout, and it came in this bag, have a nice day, with a smiley face. And I didn't at the time, I mean, this was like a month before I sat down to even do this page. So this is just kind of a look at like how I approach journaling and like capturing things and keeping stuff. I like took the food out of the bag and just took the bag and like stuck it to the fridge with a magnet because I was like, I'm gonna want to keep that just in case. And I'm so glad that I did because I journaled on the background and then I just cut this bag down so that you could have the smiley face and a little bit of the text, and I just glued it like right on top of the page. And I like that, you know, if you try, you can read what it says. I'm not the type of person that needs to go back and like read after I've journaled something, because I am the type of person that just remembers every terrible thing ever. I'm getting back into therapy, don't worry. So I don't need to be able to read it. I don't need you to be able to read it. You can if you want, I don't care. And then I added a little teardrop here with some leftover paper, which I just thought was really added to the vibe. The next day I think is my favorite day, or one of my favorite days from this month, if not the whole year. I went to dinner with my friend Kelsey, and it was just like so lovely, and she's such a wonderful friend anyway. And we tried out this new sandwich spot. Sandwiches were incredible, and we had a really great time, and I really loved it. And she's like, you know, being an internet person, I am really self-conscious about the like amount I internet when I'm with other people, because I don't want people to think, because I don't want people to think that I'm just like constantly posting on Instagram, like that I can't enjoy one-on-one time with them kind of thing. So I went into this like, or I go into most everything. It wasn't just this, like, if I snap a picture or something to post later, great. And if I don't, also great. But she was like, okay, wait, we got to get a picture. And I was like, oh, so cute, so down. And so we snapped a pic, and that's what I used for my reference. And, you know, they serve our sandwiches like wrapped in parchment. And so that is actual parchment paper, which I just thought was so much fun. I built all of these sandwiches by cutting out my yellow paper house paper, which I talk about it in every single video. I have it linked in the description. There is a little like coupon code you can use to get some, like, I think it's like 10% off or something, but I use them, you'll see, like almost every single day. And yeah, so I just love this page. I think it's so fun. And that also knocks off paper collage art, by the way. So I'm just really like sticking to our prompts. When in doubt, meme. That's pretty much how I live my life. So nothing really worth talking about happened on this day, so I did a meme instead. If you're not following Wussy Mag on Instagram, they are like an independent magazine out of Atlanta. It celebrates LGBTQ plus culture, like it's the best. Their Instagram is also hilarious, and they do these tweet dumps, essentially, of funny tweets they find. I don't know who's in charge of that. I think his name is actually John. And if it's you, John, you're incredible at your job. So thank you for that. This meme says, "Doctor, are you sexually active?" Me. No, I usually just lie there. And then the doctor says, writing in my chart, "Effortlessly witty and quite beautiful, I might add." Incredible. Big fan of memes, of citing the memes. And now I have to get a Post-it note to talk to you about this page. So 1 second. This has been the most movement a journaling YouTube video has ever seen. A couple things here. This is crossing off another thing from the list, another prompt from the list. It is my pocket prompt. I mainly make pockets out of vellum paper. Occasionally I'll use like something else, so this Lego packet or envelopes or something, but for the most part I use vellum paper, and I like it because I can write on top, or I can use my Tombos on top, and you can see through it. I of course love the, oh, some glue has come up on that. Well, that's okay. Somebody remind me to fix that. That is from a tape runner. Ugh. The more time I spend with tape runners, the less I like them. Anyway, doesn't matter. I like that you can see through it, ish. I spend a lot of time in hotel rooms. I travel for work, and I realized recently that the envelope the keys come in make a really great pocket, especially for the smaller, let me just show you, oh my God. Okay, these are my notes from Yellow Paper House. I'm missing my very tiny notes. They're somewhere. But they're so cute. There's one like 1 by 1 or something. The envelopes for the hotel key card work really well with these tiny notes papers. So just a little tidbit there. And before I pull out the reveal, which I am gonna cover, I wanted to explain this. So my friend Kat, a dear friend, which if you've watched these videos, you have seen her pop up, just had her baby, her first baby. And at her baby shower, we put on a string that was meant to like keep Kat and the baby in our thoughts. You know, every time we look down at the string, we think about them, we think about the journey she's going through, and then when she gives birth, we cut the string off. So I got to cut the string off on March 13th because baby Una arrived. I, of course, first thing I did was tape it into my Hobonichi. Are you kidding me? Like I was gonna throw that away or something. And I got really carried away with this one once I realized that I wanted to use the key card envelope as the pocket, mostly because it was like already done for me and I did not have the energy at this point, because reminded, like this was all in one day. I'd done 10 pages in a day. I did not have the energy. So I took my Yellow Paper House papers, stunning, gorgeous, and just started cutting those up and, you know, gluing them down, collaging with them, turning them into these flowers. I also have these price dots or something, like I don't really know what they're for, but they're just like little circle dot stickers that I used as centers for the flowers, and I think it's so fun. And if you maybe don't know what's here, then it's like a nice surprise. But if you grab on to the flower, you reveal little baby Una. And so just to show you what this looks like, I am gonna cover her up because she ain't my baby. She don't need to be on the internet. All right, so here's what it looks like. So I just took my tiny notes papers and I had 2 like of the same size flower, like circle cut out. And so I just taped one to the back, one to the front so that I could use it as like a pulley basically. Taped down some leaves, and now I have this perfect little pocket and surprise Una. Isn't that so fun? Ugh, it brings me so much joy. So one of my favorite pages for sure. Knocking off another one off the prompt of a pocket. Moving on, we've got my nail appointment. This actually matches the project that I taught at the conference this month. And if you look back, I gotta stop doing this. You've already seen these pages, for the love of God. But anyway, it matches this project. That's fun, right? Moving on. This was probably my favorite read of the far. This is so far my favorite read of the year. It is called Ready or Not by Cara Bastone. I ate this book up. Surprise pregnancy, which I have not really read before as a trope, and I think they did a really good job of it. Friends to lovers, best friend's older brother, baby, it was good. It was giddy, giddy, giddy. I loved it. Incredible on audio, but let me tell you one thing. If I'm brave, I might post the video I sent to Elaine. Maybe I'll post it. The voice actress, she went for it. And so towards the end, when you get to a scene that is inevitable for a romance book, I had to turn it down. I was sitting in the gym parking lot and I had to turn it down. So anyway, one of the quotes that I was obsessed with, she thinks in her head, does your haircut mean you love me? Because he got a haircut after she had said like, oh, I love like a clean cut boy. So book cover, quote from the book. To me, this does not knock off the book cover and book review, and neither does the book club page because I didn't give a review. So keeping that in mind. Next up, we've just got this, whatever this is. Elaine and I shipped out Word of the Year mugs. I layered tombos kind of on top of each other, like where they met, and I liked doing that to see what color they made. I didn't really find anything that I wasn't expecting color-wise. Like, I think this is a mauve color that I have, so it is nice on top of the orange and on top of that fuchsia, but nothing totally groundbreaking. St. Patrick's Day, which is one of my favorite holidays, if not my favorite holiday. I'm from Dublin, Georgia. We take it very seriously. This I am counting as Natasha's new medium. I took some extra parchment paper from my food page and scribbled tombos on it and used them as watercolors. I've never done that before, mainly because I've never been interested. And I guess it gave what I wanted it to give, but I think I would have just rather pulled out my gouache or pulled out actual watercolor for this page, but it was fine. I did start lettering with the same Tombow water brush situation, but then it was just taking such a long time, and I didn't the brush was not one that I would use for lettering. So instead I just used the brush part of the Tombow and then went back over it with my paintbrush and a little bit of water to kind of bleed it out just a little bit. And I'm fine with it. I mean, this is not my favorite page in the world, but it's fine. This is my conference that I was at, so I just printed out a bunch of pictures. I tend to illustrate what I did, everything I did at the conference, down to the projects and the food and things like that. But to be honest with you, this was such a jam-packed event, and I was working so much at it that I don't remember a lot, so I couldn't illustrate the projects and stuff. So I just printed out pictures for my class. I taught on Monday, first thing Monday morning, and then we had a party, which was fun, and then Tuesday, we had a class or whatever. But yeah, it was just nice to see friends, and the company I teach with, their color is blue, so I just stuck with a blue Tombow. And then we came home. So this is one page, no words. This was so hard for me. So hard not to write journey home or headed back. You know what I mean? It was so difficult. But in the end, I think it's fine, I'm not winning any awards over this, but I just put my car and then a road, and then we end up at my house. By the way, this is not the first time I've tried to draw my house. We live in a converted dry ice factory. That's why it looks like this. I'm looking around you can see it. You can't. And it's really, I don't have a picture of it, so I always have to Google map my address and then do a Google Street View and go around the driveway and find our apartment until I can draw it. But anyway, I just need to find a picture of the house. The next day, my friends and I had a really nice day. We went to the botanical gardens after breakfast, and they are from Arizona, so they don't get to see things like this. They don't get to see colors like this. Sorry, Arizona. The tulips were in bloom, and it was gorgeous. And we had a nice dinner, and then went to a bar after and sat on the patio and had beers and just talked, and it was so much fun. So I got a picture of us and a picture of the flowers and a little write-up about it, and I illustrated some of the tulips that we saw, so that was super fun. And then I for the few days they were here, I spent a lot of time being well, how am I gonna trick them to draw in here for me? Because I want them to do it. Of course, I want them to have a Hobonichi because I think they would enjoy it, but I also want you know, it's like anytime my nephews are around and I'm like, oh my gosh, what are these markers doing here with this book? And what if you drew on this page right here? And they're like, okay, whatever. But anyway, I basically did that to them and made them do this. So their contributions are up top, and then I wrote a little bit about the day below. It was very fun. The next page is my monochromatic page. I am really embracing pencil as like a focal point because I like the, juxtaposition beside like the black ink basically. And this was my, like the Japanese brush pen that I can't think of the name of right now. But anyway, monochromatic purples. I think it's fun. I really like the pencil marks, whatever. Marking another one off the list, we have a book cover and book review. So this is a little bit more of what I was thinking when I wrote that prompt for myself. And what's funny is like, I was going through everything. I had already illustrated Tom Lake for book club. I had already done Ready or Not for just like, you know, dedicating a page to it because I enjoyed it. I didn't have another book that I've read this month that was worth it. And I loved Abby Jimenez's Yours Truly. I read that one first, even though that's technically book 2 of this Part of Your World series. And so I went back and read this one, and it just like, it was fine. It wasn't my favorite. And spoiler alert, I did not love Just for Summer, but we'll talk about that next month. So I ended up kind of like dedicating this whole page to a book that I was just like, I mean, it was fine. Anyway, did the cover, did my little bit here with the stars, and I was like, oh God, I have all this extra space left. Like, what am I thinking? So the literal only quote I could remember from this book was "Grace costs you nothing." Hilarious. And then I knew that fireflies play a big part in the storyline. So I drew some fireflies. And to be honest with you, I think this is super cute. So it's interesting, the pages that you're feeling really excited about, and sometimes those kind of flop. And then the pages that you're just like, whatever, I don't care, no attachment, end up being like so cute and fun. Anyway, nothing was really happening this day worth talking about. And like I had already in my weeklies sort of like covered a bunch of stuff that happened this week. So like I didn't have anything that I really wanted to say. So I had screenshot this from Shelby on Paper on Instagram, and like to file back in my brain what she had done, like a paper essentially, and it looked like notebook paper, and it was like so cute. It's like, oh, I want to do that. So this is just like literally everything I did this day. So it was a busy day. Just treated it like a piece of notebook paper. Hers was cuter. Sometimes that's just how it goes. But I know I can always go back and find it because I wrote it in here. New video alert. This is just me. I didn't want to feel locked into like always printing out the thumbnails and like incorporating it in this huge design, because I get like that where I'm like, oh, well, I've done it twice, so I must have to do it forever. And that's just not the case. So instead I just did like a portrait of me and like what I say up at the top, and that's about it. This was a big feelings day. My dad was in the hospital, and he'd been in the hospital for a week. And like, do you see my eye twitching talking about this? And it was just like a lot of, we didn't have any answers. And all this man wanted, all this diabetic man wanted was Krispy Kreme donuts, because he can't get them in his town. So I'm like bringing him donuts because it's all he wants. And anyway, I can't get into it. So anyway, I did some journaling, and then on top of it, I drew some damn Krispy Kreme donuts because that's all this man wanted. And then of course, Cowboy Carter came out. So this is my take on the album cover. So we talk about this in my back journaling video. I am not counting this as a song illustration because, hear me out. Typically when I do a song illustration, or in the past when I have done a song illustration, will I ever find it? Oh, cute. Okay. In the past, when I've done a song illustration, I have done the like me listening to a view with the lyrics in the back. So like in my mind, it has to be a song and it has to be lyrics. So personally, I am not counting this as crossing off that challenge from the prompt, or crossing off that prompt from the challenge. A lot of people are saying, count it. And my perfectionism is saying no. So no. I painted my project for Y'all Stars this month. Surprise, it looks like this. We'll talk about that next month. God, that page was a journey. And then on March 31st, I did a reading challenge where I read the amount of pages that I picked. Okay, how do I say this? The amount of phone pickups I had in one day, I read that many pages. Why is that an amount of words that when you put together, it seems impossible to do? What? Read the amount of pages you pick up your phone in a day. Why didn't I just read it out loud? So on March 30th, this day, a Saturday, I picked up my phone 110 times, which is actually crazy because now that I did this challenge, I've been going back and look, and like some days it's like 50 times for me. Like the highest will be like 90. So I was really going through it this day. My dad was in the hospital, so that's what was happening. But so that was fun. I was rereading Happy Place, which by the way, the first time I read that book, I rated it 5 stars, and something on the reread, like it didn't hit like I wanted it to. And it's only like a 3.5 now. It's like it's not a 3. I don't know that it's a 4. I just felt like, we don't need to get into it. I just felt like Harriet and Wreck? What the hell is his name? I just felt like worse than a miscommunication trope for me is the like, oh, I love you, but we can't be together. Okay, fly alert. I guess that fly is a huge Happy Place fan. Anyway, I don't like that. I don't like the, I love you so much, we're perfect for each other, but we can't be together kind of thing. So it was just really grating on me by the end. So I'm glad I reread it though. I've read Beach Read the most. I need to reread People We Meet on Vacation because I haven't read that since it came out. Not to brag, it was early on Emily Henry. I have to stop talking. Okay. But anyway, that was fun. So I recommend you doing that if you like want to prioritize reading and not picking up your phone as much. Try to do the challenge. Tag me on Instagram at Amy Y'all. Oh, you know what? Have I ever told you why my name is Amy Y'all? Let me tell you. Do you care? This video is too long. I'll tell you next time. Okay, thank you so much for watching whatever this was. I really hope you enjoyed it. I feel good in terms of like where I'm at in here. Like I'm not completely caught up for April, but I am already off to a better start than I was for March, obviously. So no need to pull a 24-hour situation. But yes, I'm still enjoying this so much. I am still enjoying this so much. So really, honestly, thank you for watching. Like, it means the world. And I think that's all I got. So takeaways from this video: write yourself a little challenge if you're feeling uninspired, or use the challenge that I did. Cut up some paper for sure. I recommend this paper. And like steal things to make pockets. Not steal, but make pockets by any means necessary. Okay, I'm out. I'm taking my bra off. I love y'all. We'll talk soon. Bye.